All right, what up, though? Okay. Got the infinite loop. What's up, everybody? Welcome to an impromptu live stream. This is the first time that I've gone live on the eve of roster cuts. And I saw, you know what? I was like, yo, everybody else went live. Let me get on and go live as well. Let me shout out everybody in the building. We got members, Malachi and Rail. What up, Doe? What's up, nephew? What's up? We got X in the building. What up, Steven? What up? Let me say he couldn't sleep with all the stuff going on. Here we go. Who's gone now? All right, well, you know what? I've been live on this channel. I've been live on the other channel. Now I've decided to go live over here. And I just wanted to touch base with this community over here live. We did go live on Syndicate Sports Detroit. We'll be live on Wednesday with the final initial 53-man roster, and Friday as well. Not sure how long we will be on, but it won't be too long, all right? So I figured, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's have some live interaction. So make sure you guys put any comments in the comment section. All right, so we have an updated list from Pride of Detroit, and the Detroit Lions right now have released a total of, well, they started with 90. They've released 17. I've seen between 17 and 19, and they've got 20 decisions remaining. 2 of those cuts were the 2023 third-round picks. Now, I had a very animated video earlier today. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? You don't want me to be boring like Rock Dorn Podcast Network. You don't want me to be that guy, right? You want me to be who I am and do what I do best, which is perform, right? And now that is all me, that person. But at the same time, you know, there's a lot of slappies on the platform. There's a lot of people that want to stroke the ego of Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions because they want to be underneath the Detroit Lions. That's where they want to be. I don't care anything about that. The people who employ me is you, right? You guys put me to where I am. I don't want to be one of these podcasters that sit in the house that you never see in the game. I don't want to be a podcaster that just streams the games and you never see them anywhere. I don't want to be that guy, right? I'm here to bring the fan. This is a fan-driven brand, and the fan in me will always shine through, right? So you guys see me at the game, ask me about the Rock Dorn Podcast Network situation. I'll tell you everything you want to know, right? We there. We've been there for a minute. So let's talk about some things, man. All right, I had a very animated delivery today because I said it was the last time, but I lied. With the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Broderick Martin. Broderick Martin was selected 96 overall. The Detroit Lions traded up, gave up pick 122 and 2 fifth-round picks to move up 26 spots and take Broderick Martin. And now he is no longer on the team. Now, will he land on the practice squad? He could. I doubt it, but he could. And my point, I made the video today, and I'm getting a lot of pushback on Twitter, and I'll bring that clip in. I think y'all going to think it's hilarious. I'll make sure I bring that in so you guys can check it out. But Brad Holmes his flaws have been overlooked because of how successful he's been in his drafts, right? And I think that one of the reasons that the Detroit Lions fans have given him so much grace is because he brought us from, look where we came from. Like, we didn't go from Jim Caldwell to Dan Campbell. We had the worst coach in the history of all professional sports in Matt Patricia. Of course, everything you do is going to be an upgrade from that, right? But before we go any further, let me show y'all my Twitter. This is coming from my very own Twitter account. My reaction when the news of when Broderick Martin was released. Let's check it out. Not 97 won a ticket. This is coming from me. With the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Broderick Martin, who is no longer on the team. Now, ain't that about a trip? Ladies and gentlemen, is this Brad Holmes' biggest failure as general manager of the Detroit Lions? You traded up to get this guy. He was drafted in the top 100. Oh, no. Does this mean that your coveted, your savior, your messiah, Brad Holmes, does this mean that he has flaws? Does this mean that he's not perfect? That he makes mistakes? Because according to y'all, he doesn't make mistakes. There's nothing wrong. So my thing is, he was behind scouting, but like he had the final say so, right? He had the final say so on if we actually took this guy. Now, no disrespect to B Mark. No disrespect to B Mark, but he got cut. In the same year that we drafted him, we went to the NFC Championship game. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. Well, who got sacks after him? How many sacks did the people after him get drafted, the edge rushers? More than he did, because he ain't get none. He ain't get none. And maybe that one sack gets to Brock Purdy, and we win 37-34. I don't know. But does this mean that Bradley, Matthias, Jerome, Cornelius Holmes makes mistakes? It can't be. That Hendon Hooker is now gone, and now neither of his 2023 third-round picks are on this team. I don't know. I'm just a basement general manager. That's all I am. Who don't know football. Broderick Martin, we wishing you the best. You never should have been on this team. You never should have been drafted in the top 100, and I'm keeping it 100. We'll see you around in the UFL. Brad Holmes. I don't know what to say, dog. Maybe, hey, you know what? He's cut. He's cut. You see, he's not a machine. He's a man who makes mistakes. Let's go. Broderick, sayonara. We'll see you on the Michigan Panthers. And that was my reaction on Twitter because, you know, Twitter is a very hostile place. Everybody always got something to say. You can't talk bad about Bradley, Matthias, Jerome, Cornelius Holmes. And here's my thing, y'all. Brad has some flaws. He has some flaws. And that was the whole point of my reaction today. That was the whole point of my Twitter rant, right? Is Brad has flaws. We all do. We got to stop acting like the man is perfect. And today showed his flaws. Not that they weren't there before. Donovan Peoples-Jones, trading for Zadarius Smith and cutting him. And we'll see how Marcus Davenport works out. All right? I want to remind everybody, and I'm not trying to compare the two, so don't go there. But we got to stop just blind believing in people, right? Remember when Matt Patricia first got hired? Y'all remember what y'all used to say? In Patricia, we trust. Y'all remember that? He gave you no reason at all. Now, Brad Holmes has earned for some level of trust, but you can also question him as well, right? What are we missing on this team? A defensive end, a quality defensive end whose name is not Aiden Hutchinson. What is Brad Holmes known for? Drafting and trading for and signing, drafting and signing injured players. That is a known fact, right? What is also he known for? Neglecting the pass rush, specifically the edge, right? DTs loves them. Cornerbacks adores them. When it comes to quality defensive ends, he has dropped the ball. There's nothing wrong with dropping the ball. That's the whole point of this video. There's nothing wrong for now. But guess what's going to happen this year? Now, just do a little bit of update. Trey Hendrickson, to me, I think I lost a little respect. I did. Trey Hendrickson, if you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, decided to stay with the Cincinnati Bengals. He wanted more guaranteed money in a 2-year deal. They said, we're not going to do that, but what we will do is give you a $14 million raise this year to make your grand total $30 million in 2025. So instead of standing on business, and I guess he said he wanted to play there, he took his $14 million, and it would be something if the Bengals decide to franchise tag him next year. But you had all these pass rushers who didn't stand on business. Can't listen to this clown. See ya. All right, make sure you never come back, and nobody cares. I'll let you know. You know what's funny is this clown been right a lot. So I don't even know who you are, and your opinion doesn't matter. Okay, that's where we at. We are there now. I didn't get to 30,000 subscribers by stroking people's ego. All right, that's just the bottom line. Sounds like it's swaggy because it is. It's a lot of bootlickers in this space, and they need to freshen up their mouth. That's where we at. Okay, tired of all this. Ezekiel Turner done for the season, torn Achilles. So that has been confirmed. That has been confirmed, right? So, I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'm a clown because I have an opinion that differs from everybody else's. And it's not like, and when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong, right? Tim Patrick, I was wrong. I said I was wrong. And now I'm fighting for Tim Patrick to be wide receiver number 3. Y'all ready to bury the dude. And I'm like, he not just going to give it up to Isaac Tesla, right? I said, if I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I was right about Broderick Martin. I have yet to be, we'll see what happens with Marcus Davenport, right? So I don't pretend to be a general manager. I'm a general manager. I'm the GM of fans. That's where we at, right? I like that. Don't steal that. I made that up. I just made that up today. So don't steal that, all right? Need to get a trademark too, by the way. Let me see. Can you all stop with Z? Who? Hey, Bradley Mathias, I need you to reach out to me, man. You're not a clown. Ignore. Yeah, I know, Steve. You got to remember, man, this is a performance. I have to perform, right? I can't just be like, try eyes. So, blah, 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 blah. Y'all wouldn't like that. And when I did do it, you didn't like it. So if you haven't heard, I will bring you up to date on the current, this is the current roster cut so far. Let's take a look. So as of me, I just refreshed this not too long ago. The newest member of the cut crew is Zach Johnson. I don't even know who he was. I think I remember him out there. He was out there on Saturday. Nate Lynn, that's kind of I'm not going to say that's a surprise, but I'm very curious to know, like, if you look at this, our D-line, like, this is crazy, right? We knew Muhammad was going to make the team, but Nate Lynn, who was hurt last year, performed pretty decent in the preseason. He's probably going to be a practice squad candidate if he doesn't get claimed. Broderick Martin, this guy right here, we traded up to get him. There's no denying that we traded up to get him, right? So why is it that when I speak, I'm the one that get criticized? We traded up to get this guy. We moved up 26 spots like he wasn't going to be there at 122. Brad Holmes pulled the trigger on this guy. 120. That year, we go to the NFC Championship game. Now, we had already taken Hendon Hooker. I got no issue with that. He was there. We needed a quarterback. We took him. Better than Nate Sudfeld. And that's not saying a ton, but it's something. I'm not mad at that at all. It didn't work out. It is what it is. This pick should have never happened. Should have never happened. There's nobody in their right mind after watching Broderick play in the NFL would have thought that this dude wasn't going to be there in 26 picks. Okay? Miles Adams, surprise. I am surprised. We wind up signing him, I think, from Seattle. He was like on the Seattle Seahawks practice squad. I'm surprised. Dave Burkett says Deion Jackson saw that coming. Jacoby Kenny James saw that coming. Gunnar Oaks, yep. Hallett, I thought he had a chance to make the team. This right here, I'm disappointed. Because, see, nobody else on YouTube, nobody else, there's a couple guys that might speak the truth. And when I say the truth, they're not afraid of what you think of them. There's not a ton. There's a few I won't name drop for the sake of name dropping. Jacob Saylors. He should be RB4. There's no reason Sione Vaki should be RB4. He wind up being RB4 because Brad doesn't want to let go of his picks. Now, I'm not saying that Sione has no value. Special teams, he created a fumble. The dude ain't even out there. He got hurt in practice, wasn't even out there. Just this guy right here, not only did he play an entire season in the UFL, he got hurt on Saturday and still played and performed, and we cut him. This guy, never going to go anywhere. Whiteside, a little bit of a surprise. Jackson Meeks, this right here is a tragedy. Another situation where Brad is deciding that he's going to keep Lovett over an undrafted rookie free agent. We've seen this happen before. I could not think of the dude's name. Caden Davis. Caden Davis, a UDFA from last year, got cut in favor of who? Who? Put in the comment section. Who did we cut in favor or to keep we kept this guy instead of Caden Davis. We also kept the same guy instead of Chase Cota. Zachary says Antoine Green. That is correct. So does it matter what you do in the preseason or does it matter that you're drafted, right? Dan Skipper. Wow. Dan Skipper, for the first time, I believe, made a 53-man roster last season. But I'm very curious to know who's going to replace him. Is it Manu? Who is it? Who's going to replace him? Not that they say he was irreplaceable. But see, the Detroit Lions talk about talent, and they talk about grit, and no amount of talent is going to get you or keep you on the Detroit Lions. That is Dan Skipper. Right? Now, if we've upgraded, it is what it is. And Dan could possibly go on the practice squad. I mean, after all, we picked him up off the Indianapolis Colts practice squad 2 years ago. So that's probably where he's going to go. Ian Kennelly, I knew he wasn't going to make the team. Tom Kennedy, this dude is a practice squad hero. He will be back on the Detroit Lions practice squad. Hendon Hooker, I think Hendon Hooker is gone for good. The Detroit Lions could use a quarterback on the practice squad, but it won't be Hendon Hooker. A lot of y'all talking up Jake Fromm, right? So there's a couple guys on here that outperformed guys that are currently still on the team. And this is a problem. So it's you think that I don't believe in Brad, but it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with who thought that this guy was going to be good. And this is the same guy that y'all just keep praising no matter what. This is the guy that doesn't make mistakes. Well, now he has. Now he has. All right, let me switch over. We got a super chat. C Pool in the building with the donation. Says, Lynn was the most consistent edge this offseason. He was consistently causing problems. He outplayed Hassanin, who struggled against second stringers. See, Poole, don't say that too loud, my brother. Don't say that too loud, because he is the savior. I'm just saying, y'all. You guys know, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know I don't hold nothing back. You know, if I held stuff back, I would be just like all these most other podcasters fluffing you up. They want to tell you, people want you to be, they want you to like them. You're going to like me regardless. Either you're going to like me, you're going to love me, you're going to hate me, but you're not going to be like, Derek ever lied to me, right? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to take my L's when I get them, and I'm going to take my W's when I get them as well. Because I've never seen so much commitment to a team who has nothing. We haven't won anything. We haven't won anything. And I had this conversation earlier today on Syndicate Sports Detroit. We live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Make sure y'all subscribe to that channel. We got Motor City Cats, Spirit of Detroit to be joining us soon. There's another guy I'm working on as well. He said he's down. We gotta work it out. Should I give y'all a hint? I'll just say high production value. That's what you'll get. But the reality is this. We're in year 5 of this crew. Brad Holmes, 2023 draft, outside of the top 4 picks, which were colossal. Everyone was a hit out the park. The rest, gone. Kobe Sorsdahl, miss. Right? There's one that's still on the team. Well, no, he was drafted in 2024. Broderick, gone. Hendon, gone. Sorsdahl will probably be gone too. Right? A lot of misses in the back half. You can't continually miss on 3rd round picks. And I'm not saying he does that, but iffy was iffy. Who was another 3rd rounder? We traded up for Vaki. He was a 4th round pick. So this is where I'm at. I'm not happy these guys lost their job. At the same time, to me, I think this now says that Brad Holmes, he is mortal, right? He does make mistakes. Nobody talks about Trinity Benson, miss. Nobody talks about Donovan Peoples-Jones, miss. We want to blame Zadarius Smith when it was Brad Holmes that decided to trade and cut him. Had nothing to do with Zadarius. Zadarius wants to be here. And don't think that Zadarius just coming back. If I'm Zadarius, what I say? Yesterday's price ain't today's price. But that chump over there has something to say about it, right? Yesterday's price ain't today's price. And after what happened with Trey Hendrickson and the fact that I don't know, it's not a ton of folks available right now anyway that I've seen that's worth my price. The price just went up. It just went up. If I'm Zadarius, I want $10 million. I want $10 million. I mean, my nephew gone, right? Now, I did see that Jackson Meeks, they're trying to get him back on the practice squad. We'll see how that turns out. Skipper going to the Bears? Let me see. I like how Brad cut Meeks over the injured guy again. What's up, D? David, let me know about your ticket, bro, because I went and looked. It ain't gonna rain. I did I saw some low, bro. I actually saw a suite for $4 something. It was like a club level suite for $4 something. Right now I'm in the 2s, bro. Look, I saw a ticket. It was like $292. I was like, that's it, sold. But I didn't get it yet. David says, I think they cut him early so they can resign him while everyone else is trying to sign their own players back. I like that. That is a possibility. Yes, Aleem McNeil was a 3rd, hit it out the park. Meeks is not making the team. Shame on you. In this economy, I ain't happy for any of these guys losing their jobs. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Antoine Green was a miss. Absolutely. Dan Skipper was a surprise. He is definitely going to be picked up by another team. Meeks not clearing waivers. I'll take Huntley over Allen. Derek, we got Broderick and Hooker. When we traded TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings, we didn't lose much. In all, they had to go. Well, you know what, Steve? I hear you, man. I hear what you're saying, right? But what I'm saying is, for a team, and this is where my passion comes from, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about this in today's show earlier. Lions, only NFC team to never be in a Super Bowl, right? Only NFC team to never be in a Super Bowl. The team is 91 years old, never been to a Super Bowl. We were this close. We were one sack away. We were one pressure away. We were one turnover away. And I feel like when you're in a position, a lot of people thought that we were ahead in 2023, that we were ahead of schedule. Brad takes a risk on a guy that is no longer on the team 2 seasons later. Think about this. Broderick Martin played 53 snaps. 53 snaps. And he was drafted at 96. But he wasn't just sitting there at 96. The Lions traded up for a guy that they thought was going to disappear between 96 and 122. That's one of those picks. So you mean to tell me that whatever 4th round pick we took and 2 5ths, none of them going to make a bigger impact? None of them going to make the team? All 3 of them guys going to be cut 2 years later? Look at what if St. Brown is sitting there? What if the 2023 version of St. Brown is sitting in the 4th round, in the 5th round, right? James Mitchell, he was a 5th round pick. He was a miss, but he was also a 5th round pick. So for me, what you hear is Brad will trade up for a guy like Broderick Martin, but he won't trade for a guy like Trey Hendrickson. He won't trade. He'll re-sign injured players, but he won't sign players that actually perform, right? There's no reason Zadarius Smith should not be on the team. And Marcus Davenport is. There's zero reason outside of money. That's it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Dark Saber says we should go after Huntley because Kyle isn't good either. You know what, Dark? I'm glad. Yes. Kyle Allen is not good. He's not good. He's better than Sudfeld. He's better than Hooker, but he's not good. Hopefully we never have to see it, but he's not good. You got to remember, this guy was going against 2nd and 3rd stringers. And outside of that Hall of Fame game, he looked great. He looked great. You put me out there, I'm going to look all right? Against 3rd stringers. You were essentially watching a UFL game all preseason long. I don't know. Bryce Perkins also got waived today as well. Skipper's been cut a few times and re-signed over the years. Yes, he has. But I think the first time he made a 53 was last year. It was a great thing to say. We're looking at the wrong issues with this team. Okay, Kitty, explain yourself. What you mean? Let me see. Where we at? Yeah, Skipper was cut during Bro, I was talking about that today. When Dan Skipper was cut during Hard Knocks, it was heartbreaking. It was tough. As a matter of fact, I might go watch it now just to kind of reminisce and remember what he went through. Because after that was when he was throwing up in the trash can. After that was when he got his first start and stuff like that. So I hope that he comes back. I really do. It's only a matter of time, says Juan, until Davenport goes down. It's just a countdown. And when he does, that's going to be tough. But Brad Holmes loves his draft picks. What's up, DM? What's going on, man? Says, they got to put me out there, coach. I won't get winded like Broderick. One play, I need a breather. Martin, solid cuts. Now time to re-sign Big Z. I would love for that to happen. It says, we do need some help on the defense. Let me see. Kirkpatrick, but Meeks has more upside. Who is Kirkpatrick? Going to miss Skipper? Tom, he might not be gone for good. He cried and pleaded to stay. He said he would do anything. Where can you watch the episode of Hard Knocks? Brandy, if you have HBO, you should be able to look up Hard Knocks and find Detroit Lions. And it was near the end of the season because that's the same year we had Khalil Pimpleton, and I thought he was going to make the at least the practice squad. Sports Talk with Rob with the donation. Appreciate you, bro. 1999 says, what would you do if Marcus Davenport led the team in sacks and Brad got 2 more dead? Wait, and Brad got 2 more dead to us, bro, a Super Bowl or he out. If Marcus Davenport led the team in sacks, the first thing I want to know is what happened to Hutch. Because with Hutch, that is not going to happen. But if let's say it did, I have to say I'm sorry. That's it. I mean, we know what he can be if he stays healthy. But let's remember. Y'all ready for this? Marcus Davenport's best year was Aiden Hutchinson's rookie season. Was his worst. Think about that. Marcus Davenport's best year was Hutchinson's worst. Now tell me about that. Tell me about that. You say clown suit? the way the cuts went, I'm sure they making moves. What's up, Ron? What's good with you, man? Hello from Shenandoah National Park out here in the woods with the Bears. Needed some Lions talk. Well, why you out there? First of all, well, it is summer, but enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. I couldn't do that. Pimpleton still in the CFL? Probably. Man, I messed up. You said, man, I messed that all up. I didn't mean to put dead. You got to spell check the super chats, bro. What's up, Bradley? We should be the big four. Wait, we should be the big four back in the day it was that. Hey, listen, I'm gonna need y'all to make sure you check before you hit send. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Davenport, I give him 4 games until another injury. What's up, young Fred? Says, I like our roster. I'm ready for the season. Okay, Fred. So you mean to tell me you ain't disappointed in no cuts so far? And don't forget, we still got like 20 more cuts to go. Derek, if Davenport gets half the sacks of Hutch, but Brad got 2 more seasons, or he out. Okay, so Brad is in the contract for 3 years. Brad will fulfill his contract. After that, I think a Super Bowl buys him 3 more years. If we make it, he here for 10. If we win it, he is carte blanche. He here forever. People losing it over back of the roster dudes. Lions Live, you know what, bro? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, bro. I don't agree with that, man. You know what? I need to turn on my phone system. I need to turn on, because I need to talk to you, bro. I don't agree with that at all. What's up, MP? Says, I'm Rick James Snitch. Okay, back at the roster dudes. All right, so you mean on the depth chart, right? So here's the point. Here's the point, right? If you're keeping 6 or 7 wide receivers, if somebody outperforms, we're talking about RB4, but we needed RB4 last year. Vaki had, remember, Montgomery went down. Gibbs never really, I think he missed a few games, but we need those guys. We need those guys, right? So why would you cut an RB4 like Sailors over Vaki? At RB4, we know what Vaki can be special teams wise, but this dude was hurt and played and still balled out, right? Vaki on the sideline somewhere. There's this, but am I wrong though? Am I wrong for saying that if you are drafted by Brad, you have a protection? Am I wrong to say that you get like a leg up if you've been drafted? Tesla should be 3. Said a few weeks ago, Brad not drafting another edge until year 7. Derek, I wouldn't trade Brad for any GM in the league. He got 3 more future starters in this year draft. 3 is a year goated. He having the best. Okay, Justin. All right. So Justin, let's do a hypothetical. Brad is here through 2027. What does he have to do to get extended? What does he have to do to get extended? I'll tell you what I think, but you tell me what you think. What's up, Caitlin? What's going on, man? Cut Vaki too? Gibbs was he absolutely was a great pick. The first 4 in 2023, he knocked it out the park because, bro, Holmes is invested in the draft picks. Brad, that guy, but there are 4 GMs better. Okay, Brelin says, get us to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. You're right, Derek. He gives his draft picks special treatment. What's up, Rashad? What's going on, man? That's what he needs to do. See these guys. They see these guys practicing daily, Derek. They're seeing things we haven't seen. Watching them play once a week is enough for us to judge. Okay, Steve, I understand. I'll push back, right? I watch these guys once a week. Yet I knew our pass rush sucked. And that's with Davenport. You signed Mosley. He got hurt again. You signed Davenport. He got hurt again. Brad likes injured players, right? You see trading for what's his name? Donovan Peoples-Jones. Bad idea, right? Brad is needed to address the pass rush. We don't watch every day, but we knew it was a problem. So if we're putting this stuff together, the people on ESPN, NFL Network, they don't have privy to watch the team every day. And I'm going to be real with you, bro. Even so, this is not the NFL game, right? It's like practice. We talking about practice. So, I mean, here it is. Hendon Hooker was supposedly killing it in camp, and he now is unemployed. So I hear what you're saying, but I mean, look, I still believe in numbers, and the numbers say that without a pass rush, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. Without a defense, it's hard to win championships. That's all I'm saying. Brad has given us a Super Bowl caliber team, though. See, that's where we at. Okay, Kitty says Brad has given us a Super Bowl caliber team, though. There's like 2 positions that we can't seem be completely confident in, and that's literally it. I agree. Okay? Everybody heard me say that. I agree. But these 2 positions, one is edge, and what is the other one to you? These 2 positions are what's keeping us back. It's what's keeping us back. If we had Trey, okay, who would y'all prefer, Davenport or Hendrickson? It's a no-brainer, right? Davenport is great if he's healthy. But you would take Trey in a second over him, right? Well, we don't have 2 elite pass rushers. Who has that? It doesn't matter. That's not the question. That's not the question. And the fact that he keeps on doing the same thing. We went through this before. Name a pass rusher off the edge that could even name a quality edge rusher that's been on our team, not named Aiden Hutchinson, since Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell took over. Do that. Hey, so yeah, appreciate that. So I'm glad you reminded me of this. So the Michigan Panthers are not yet moved out of Michigan. The guy who just joined, like the billionaire dude or whatever, he was saying that the venue is the biggest problem. Now, there's been some idea here that for the Michigan Panthers to play at Ford Field is astronomical. It costs a bunch of money per game. I don't know if I should say the amount, but it's in the millions. I'll put it like this. It's more than 3, but less than 7. That's how much they pay to play at Ford Field. What's keeping the Michigan Panthers and may keep them out of Michigan has nothing to do with attendance, because we were the only team in the league to have more attendance. It is the venue. Ford Field is not really cooperating with the Michigan Panthers, and it's sad because our kicker came from there. But it's also sad because this league needs to stay around. The NFL is the only major sport that doesn't have a development league, and this is the closest you're going to get. All right, let me see. Hold on. I missed some stuff. Oh, what's up, Stacey B? I missed a couple things. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Hold on. I missed a lot. Hold on. Okay, Rob, we got I'm glad these things are highlighted. We got Tom, member for 8 months. Appreciate you, bro. Says, who will be our surprise pickup? You know what, bro? I don't know, because from what I heard today, I wasn't like blown back by any of the people that were cut. Thank you for that. The next one we'll go to is GTA Pringle with the donation. I appreciate you. Says, after the 2023 season, my dad said the organization is more concerned with selling tickets than winning it all. I fear he might be right. Well, I'll say this. Shout out to your dad. Shout out to the donation as well. I think that the fan base, I think the honeymoon period is going to end for Brad Holmes this year. I truly believe that. If we don't make a Super Bowl, I think he's going to get a little more scrutiny than he's been. Y'all got to understand, I'm not taking away what he's done. I'm just saying there are some things that he leaves on the table. And for me, that's unacceptable, seeing as how we've never been to a Super Bowl. We've never won. The fact that y'all are uttering Dynasty, to me, is despicable. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Why are we talking Dynasty? Right? We are trying to sniff the Chiefs' boots. The Chiefs were just like us. 50 years of nothing, and now they're a dynasty. I would love to mimic that. And right now, we're not there. Stacey B with the milestone comment says, Brad's ego has gotten in the way of pursuing a DE. I agree 100%. Okay, so Hendrickson over Davenport. All right. Robert Porcher, that's funny. I feel like we're going to win the Super Bowl. We looking good, feeling great. Okay. All right. Okay. You, Brad, these cut guys make room for Parsons. Yeah. Al-Qadik Muhammad. Is it really that easy to just pick up Trey Hendrickson? No. Well, no, it's not. It's not that easy. And Trey's off the table now. But what I'm saying is make the call. make the call. And then Brad said it was hard for a DN to get DN. You get a DN, you trade for the best one out there at the moment, and then you cut him. And then you decide to sign a guy. Think about this, y'all. By cutting Zadarius Smith, right now he's not re-signed. By cutting Zadarius and signing Marcus Davenport, who has never played a full season in his career, Zadarius Smith came off 2 consecutive 17-season games. Would have played 8 if Brad let him. Would have played 18 games, right? Brad is saying, I believe in Marcus Davenport more than I believe in Zadarius Smith. This is the same general manager who did hit on Jahmyr Gibbs when nobody else wanted to give him credit. Brian Branch, I'm not taking anything away from him. But this is also the same GM that thought it was a good idea to trade for Donovan Peoples-Jones. This is the same GM that nobody remembers about this guy. Who is the guy, year one of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, that they traded for? He was a receiver. You guys should know it because I say his name all the time. He's like, nobody ever says this guy. He's not in the NFL currently. Let me know who that person is. Derek, let me see. I'll take Z over Davenport or Hutch. Just my humble opinion. So would I. Cy Gray, what's the news? Just got here. Okay, so quick rundown is the Lions have cut 17. They have cut 17 people. They still have to cut 20 more. And those cut were offensive lineman Zach Johnson, edge Nate Lynn, Broderick Martin, a.k.a. the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Miles Adams, Deion Jackson, Jacoby Kenny James, Gunnar Oaks, Eric Hallett, Jacob Sailors, to my disappointment, Luke Barku, cornerback Nick Whiteside, wide receiver Jackson Meeks, Dan Skipper, Mitchell Agude, Ian Kennelly, Tom Kennedy, Hendon Hooker, and Anthony Pittman. Okay. Rail says Trinity Benson. Lions Live says Trinity Benson. Cy Gray says Trinity Benson. Marvin Jones, that is a no. Bradley Mathias, Trinity Benson. The correct answer is Trinity Benson. Trinity Benson, we traded for him. I think it was a 5th and a 7th. We got Trinity. This is also the same guy that traded for Riley Patterson, and he didn't make the team. So what I'm saying is Brad Holmes is great, but he's not perfect. And that's the point. The point is not the good that he's done. It's what he missed on. Okay? Because I know the guy is phenomenal, but it's also some things. You ain't gonna get nowhere if your ego's in the way. That's all I'm saying. So Broderick is officially cut. I thought we were joking. Ben, no, he's officially cut, bro. I wasn't gonna make that video until I had it confirmed. So once it was on Pride of Detroit's websites, I made and it would have been corrected by now. Meeks and Skipper bother me. I agree. Meek, Skipper, bye-bye. I appreciate how cheap Brad is as long as he keep our guys. See, Lions, I don't know, bro. I'm calling cap on you. You wanted him to trade for Parsons. And you can't be cheap if you trade. Like, if you trade for Parsons, you throwing all that out the window. The good outweigh the bad by far, bro. See, you know what? I agree. I agree with you. But also, here's what I don't think y'all getting. I think y'all so caught up in the fact that we're no longer a bad team that you miss what the bigger picture. The bigger picture, ladies and gentlemen, is not just to be a good team. It is to win the Super Bowl, right? The Buffalo Bills. I had a conversation with the chat earlier today, and y'all would settle for that. Y'all would settle for being the Buffalo Bills. That's what you would do. 4 falls of Buffalo. I couldn't even imagine being a Lions fan and making it to 4 Super Bowls and being 0 for 4. I would be devastated. Some of y'all, that would be cool. I thought the goal was to win it all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought the goals were. So becoming to win it all, you got to be a good team. A great team is even better. The Detroit Lions are a good team. We don't know what we could have had in 2024. 15-2. I mean, we don't know what was there. We really don't, and we'll never know. But until we get there, I mean, like, the same people talking Dynasty is the same people that's cool with what's going on. You missed 2 super chats. Okay, my bad, bro. I missed 2. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, man. They disappear so quick. KJ with the super chat. Thank you. If I missed something, just let me know. With how bad Brad is with signing, he might pick up something crazy like a long snapper. That is funny, bro. If he did, it ain't no way. It ain't no way, but I get what you did. With our schedule, how important is a 2? Kenny, you've been dropping gems, bro. Kenny says, with our schedule, how important is a 2-0 start? Well, Kenny, I think it's important regardless because of these statistics. If you 0-2 versus 1-1 versus 2-0. Chicago, Green Bay, man, it might be everything. It might be everything. It really might, because that one game, look at what happened last year. Now, last year is an anomaly. You don't get that all the time. But if you're talking about the difference between making the playoffs, missing the playoffs, and having home field or having a home game. Like, it is a big deal. It's a big deal. Let me see. Whoever scouted Broderick Martin needs to be fired. Well, I mean, Brad Holmes did I'm not saying he needed to be fired, but Brad Holmes did approve of the trade. So he had to actually make the call to trade up and decide. So I'm just saying. 280-pound dudes are more athletic, good at rushing the passer, and good people are far and few in between. Scheme has to be changed. Okay, one pass rusher I can think of is Muhammad. Bruh. If you were playing during the preseason, you're not that big of a I'm sorry, you're not that big of a deal. If you ain't a rookie, if you're not a rookie and you were playing during the preseason, you're not that big of a deal. You're not that guy. Sorry. I'm talking about those guys. Let me see. He changed his franchise around. I'm not mad at him for that. NST. Nobody is, bro. Nobody is. But that's going to get stale after a while, right? It's going to get... Okay, so answer the question. All of y'all answer the question. If we were the Bills, now what? If we were the Niners, now what? The Niners are almost there. They've been to 2 out of the last 4? They fell short. What I'm saying, bro, is this is going to get stale. That's the problem, man. Y'all, I think a lot of y'all settle. We still will settle for just being good. Why not settle when we win? And then when we win, let's still not settle. Okay, so what? We're good. That's great. But the goal is to win it all. The goal ain't to just be good. So what I'm saying is eventually that gets old as well. So when will you get tired of just being good? Give it a few more years. These same people who love Brad will turn on him. Corey, I'm calling it this year. This year. If we don't make a Super Bowl, they're going to start to be like, I wonder if Brad is, y'all couldn't stand Jim Caldwell. Couldn't stand him. He was too conservative. Right? He couldn't beat the good teams. Brad, think about this and tell me if I'm wrong, y'all. Let's have a legit conversation. Is Brad Holmes so good because he's great at what he does? Or does it also have something to do with the fact of where we came from? Is it 50-50? What percentage do you think it is? Is it because, look where we came from. We left Jim Caldwell for Matt Patricia. So now it's like, oh my God. Yes, of course this guy is better. And he is better. But what I'm saying is, when will that not be enough? That's the question. A good center and a good edge. Settling is the Steelers. Oh, that's a good one, Dad. That's a good one. Steelers fans were loud this offseason. They were loud this offseason. And they ain't won in 20 years? It's only been 20 years for Steelers fans, and they were loud this offseason. You had pro Mike Tomlin, and you had people that just thought it needed to be a shakeup. It needed to be a shakeup, man. You know what I'm saying? And Mike Tomlin everybody knows, never had a losing season, but they were tired of it. It was like split down the middle, man. Caldwell should have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for that one bad call against Dallas. Yeah, we had a really good team. And listen, y'all. What was unique about the 2014 Detroit Lions? Tell me what was unique, and what does this team under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have never even came close? That is the difference. The Goff Stafford trade was the big move in the right direction. That's 100% facts. We lost the season because of Goff and coaching. Okay. Health is everything. Talent isn't the issue. Defense already having problems. Jackson Meeks is like flat Matt letting Travis Fulgham get away. Yeah. Travis Fulgham, I don't even think he's in the league anymore, but yeah, that was a big deal at the time. Derek Brad completely drives me nuts, so close, but he doesn't get that key piece like a healthy DN. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Caldwell wasn't aggressive enough. You can say the same thing about Brad Holmes when it comes to a pass rusher. Sai says, I'll trade another decade of mediocrity after our first Super Bowl. I'm right with you, bruh. I'm about to be 46 this year. Me and my wife was just talking about where did time go. She just turned 46. I turned 46 in a few months. And it's like, yo, you know, we've been in the house we've been in for 6 years. My son's going to 10th grade. he was in 4th grade when we moved here. It was pre-COVID. COVID's already been 5.5 years. Like, yo, that's all you hear from me. All right, so what do we have? So Carlos says number 1 defense. Patrick says 2014 had a nasty D-line. All right, so all those things as far what I remember, we had the number 3 defense. We had Ndamukong Suh, we had Ansah, I believe it was, but we had the number 3 defense. Our defense was crazy. It was crazy. I graduated in COVID. Which year, Malachi? That first year? Caitlin says, welcome to the club. What, the 40? 40, over 40? Can't be out and miss like that. I mean, look, she don't mind. She don't mind. Brad hasn't passed on a confirmed good edge rusher yet. Is that true? Is that true? I don't have time to look through. Tesla is the best thing that happened to this organization since Saints Brown. I truly believe that. You don't have me look, bro. Man. So anyway, Derek, let's talk about the Lions dynasty. So now listen, let me see how long we've been on. I just wanted to go live and chop it up with y'all. So we got 10 more minutes. We'll wrap up the show, but we are going to be live tomorrow as well. For the trade to discuss the 53-man roster. The initial reaction has to be out at 4. So my guess is we'll get another 10 cuts or so before that, and then we'll get something after. We'll know our final team after that. Directly after that, the practice squad can start to be filled up. We're going to be following that as well, so expect that. And I have checked the weather. It's not going to rain in Green Bay, so the goal is to go. That is the goal. I've been pricing some tickets. We had Tulloch Averill. We sure did. Byron Young is the best edge we've ever passed on. Hopefully Zadarius comes back, but we will see. Are you expecting a signing soon, possibly edge related? Me at Western, I don't know, man, because has any edge rusher grabbed y'all attention that's been cut, right? The only one is Zadarius. That's it. And maybe he was always the plan. I don't know, but we'll know soon. What's up, MJ? What's good with you, man? I think a lot of how Brad is perceived is going to be based on how he's able to replenish those good players that eventually cash out and leave for other teams. Bunny King, that is a great point. That is a great point. And let's talk about that. So this year is this year's a good year. I think it was Kenny Powers that dropped this tidbit last week during Thursday's show. According to Kenny, because I'm going to be real, I didn't go fact check it after we got off. I got distracted. But according to Kenny, and some people confirmed it in the chat, that if a coach and general manager combination, those two people don't win after year 5 together, historically, it's never been done. So I'll repeat the question again, or the statement. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are entering year 5. They are the general manager, coach combination 5 years in. If they don't win after year 5, they don't win. Or if they don't win by year 5, they don't win. Okay? This is year 5. I've been saying this for a while. This is a big year for Brad Holmes. It's a big year with the fan base. Trust me and believe that. He wins a Super Bowl, it all goes away. Nothing matters if he wins a Super Bowl. If he makes a Super Bowl, that's also Super Bowl is 10 out of 10. Making a Super Bowl is 8.5 out of 10, right? I think he's safe for 10. He'll be here a decade if they make a Super Bowl. If they win a Super Bowl, I think he here forever. I'm going to keep it a buck. If he here, like nobody else to say nothing, you know, good or bad, he good to go. But this is a big year for Brad Holmes because next year, I told y'all that just based off the numbers, this was a big turnover year for the Detroit Lions. We lost Iffy. We decided to re-sign Levi. That was a bad idea. We re-signed him, didn't even know his knee was as bad as it is. He gone for the season, right? Pascal, last year. DJ Reader, last year. Who else? Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams, next year, entering their last years of their deal. Alexander Zaloni, last year, right? The team is going to look a lot different next year. That's why you have to capitalize on the opportunities you have. That's why 2023 was such a big deal. That's why I'm so hard on Broderick Martin. I'm hard on that pick because we blew an opportunity to win our first Super Bowl. Last year, everything was great. Nobody cares. Nobody in this chat cares about 15-2. You don't even care about home field advantage, and you don't care about back-to-back NFC North. You know what I got? I got a flag. I got a flag on my wall. That's it. That's all I got. A flag. Lions got 2024 added on the banner. All great. Nobody cares about that. You don't care about that. I don't even care if we get the first seed ever. Been there, done that. It'd be great, but if not, no big deal. Also, another fact. 15-win teams have never won a Super Bowl. 15-win teams have never won a Super Bowl. And it still is the case. Chiefs, Lions, 15-2. Chiefs, Lions, both did not win the Super Bowl. We came closer the year with our record was worse. So this is a big year for Brad Holmes in more ways than one. I would hate to be him. I don't want to be him. His job is super stressful. It is very stressful. I do not want to be him. At the same time, there's going to come a moment where Brad has to make a decision. He's going to have to make a decision. Do you risk? You got risk versus reward. Do you take a chance on the guy that could take us over? Right? Look at what happened. Hutch got hurt. We didn't have nobody. Nobody. Our pass rush was trash with him. And without him, it was even worse. Lions signed James Houston. That's funny. Hey, speaking of James Houston, did he get waived today? Did he survive today? Carlos says 15-2 is still amazing. Carlos, let me ask you a question, bro. Was 15-2 amazing regardless, or was it amazing was it more amazing because of what you think this year is going to be, right? And which season would you rather take? 2023 or 2024? 12-5 NFC Championship game, 15-2 divisional loss. Which one would you take? Does Brad have the power to fire Dan? I'm going to say based on hierarchy, yes. But if Sheila probably has to approve it. You know what I'm saying? So yes and no, because it would be coach, GM, owner. So no, coach, GM, president, owner. So yeah, I would say like yes and no. Houston was unstoppable. Okay. So James Houston was going. It did suck. It did suck. Steven, it did suck. Tell me, where was our pass rush ranked at? It did suck. It did suck. Hutch got hurt in week 6 and still led the team in sacks by the end of the season. How does that not suck? How does that not suck? The closest number of sacks to Hutch was Zadarius Smith at 4. After him, it was 3.5. After him, it was 3. Yes, our pass rush sucked, even with Aiden Hutchinson. He was the pass rush. Sheeler hired him personally. The 1-year deal that Brad should have done was Isaiah Buggs. Do you agree? No, you know what, Big Lotto? I don't agree with that because Isaiah was giving us trouble. It was a lot of stuff coming out of camp. Like the team, he was fighting with Aaron Glenn and it like physical. So, nah. But he got a Super Bowl, though. He did get a Super Bowl. Technically, the GM can fire the head coach. That's all I was saying, is that hierarchy-wise, he probably has the power to do it, but would Sheila allow that to happen? Brad would get fired before Dan. Okay, we got a couple more minutes. I'll take a few more. Says, Derek, what do you think our biggest weakness going into the season? Edge rusher. Edge rusher. Do you think Brad will address the problem? Maybe. I hope so. I don't know. But I think it's edge, and I don't know. The first 6 games, we had an amazing defense. Yeah, but you know what, Steve? That's not what I said, though. I said our pass rush sucked with and without Aiden. That's what I said. 2023, we had, but the injury bug got us last year. All right, but you know what? They said it best on Versus. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. How long are we going to be stuck in last year, right? Last year is last year. Now we on this year. Now it's time to move forward, right? It's hard for me to get past 2023 because I was there and it was y'all, y'all got me there, but it sucked. It sucked, man. I love road games. I have never wanted to fight until that day. Like that day, I was this close to catching a case, calling my wife like, yo, I need you to bail me out. Isn't Brad also vice president? I don't know, man. What would you think of the Bengals giving Hendrickson $14 million raise for 1 year? He wasn't going to be in our range at all. Stacy, I feel like the Bengals just bangled. I'm more disappointed in Trey, tell you the truth, because he was talking all this junk, and you did what they all do. You took the money. That's what you did. So Malachi with the dono, I appreciate you, bro. When this super chat leaves, we'll get off. Says, this last season was my first season I've been able to be interested in sports, LOL. So it was awesome. See what they did, as opposed to hearing how bad they've always been. So also, do we sign a QB now? You know what, Malachi, thanks for the donation. I'm going to say, I don't know, man. I don't know. Right now, unless the Lions think that somebody is better than Allen, I think they're content. I think they're content, man. I really do. Dan escaping any heat is nuts to me. Lions. Okay, what? I don't understand. Escaping what heat? Dan escaping what heat? I'm just trying to. Dan gets all the heat during the season. What are you talking about? He don't. These guys, when he goes for it on 4th down, they want to fire him. But Brad makes the personnel decisions. It's his call, right? They agree, but Brad is the one that can trump Dan. That's what I'm saying. Just like, look, you think Dan escaping any heat is nuts? Jared Goff getting all the heat is nuts. That's nuts to me. Just like this. Who made the decision to trade for Jared Goff? Who was the one that had to make the call? Who was the one that first talks to the draft picks? Brad Holmes. Cy Gray with the donation, appreciate you. Says, I'll be 50 years old next August. I was 12 going on 13 when we drafted Barry Sanders. I'm right behind you, my brother. I was turning 10. Says, been loyal to the Lions and waiting on the Super Bowl ever since. I think we all are, bro. And I think once we get it, y'all think we gonna be worse or better? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like this fan base gonna lose their mind. We gonna walk around with so much swag, we gonna become despicable. That's what I believe. From what I've seen after being good, if we win, we might become the Chiefs. And the Chiefs fan base is, they're like the Niners, man. See, we were with you when you watching in San Francisco, and it sucked watching the fans from San Francisco. Bro, being there was like probably one of the worst sports experiences I've ever. It was like the best and the worst at the same time. It's never one man. That's all I'm saying. Ever. Bees, 100%. It's never one man. That's 100%. I think we'll be the same, but we have a tough schedule. No, I meant the fan base, bro. Honestly, the player union has too much power in the NFL now. Lots of head games. Derek, do you think 2016 Stafford with the current roster will win us the Super Bowl? Absolutely right. 2016 Stafford, that's MVP candidate, right? That's after he got his deal, and he was like, until he hurt his thumb, right? I think he hurt his thumb. I'm going to say no. Because I don't think Goff lost us the game. I think the defense did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what y'all going to say. With the defense that we had, we're not going to win at all. I don't think even a healthy defense wins. Our defense, you got to be able to get to the quarterback. We couldn't do that. We're going to be insufferable. Yes, we are. Pringle, thank you for the donation. Yes, we are. Wins might take a dip, but if healthy, we could be productive in the playoffs. Zachary with the 7-month milestone comment says, I think the defense will be better this year. And on that note, I agree. I think that the Lions defense will be better. We have to see it though, and we'll get our first taste at Green Bay. We really will. First month of the season, everybody's kind of becoming accustomed, so no real judgments. I think I'm going to bring back the Lions defense through series. I think I enjoyed doing that, seeing how the Lions defense compared and all that stuff. I think if we have a top 10 defense, we can win the Super Bowl. I really do. I think we have a top 5 defense with the offense that we've had. Our offense has only gotten better. Now, yes, we did lose Benedict the Snake Johnson, but we also gained Isaac Tesla. We got a healthy David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs in year 3, Jared Goff. I think he's going to play some of the best ball of his career. I really do. After he gets those like new father jitters out the way, because it seems like whenever these players have babies, they do terrible. But once he gets that out the way, I think our team is going to be great. The thing that here's all I think we need to do: get somebody who can compliment Aiden, and I think we got somebody worthy of compliment Aiden, not a guy that it will be a dog if he stays healthy. I think that guy was Trey, but he wasn't really available, as you can see. So now we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I wonder if by this time next week, will Darius Smith be on the team? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I want to get on real quick. Justin with the donation says, enjoy this process. We have dreamed about this for decades. You know what, Justin? I appreciate the donation. I appreciate the sentiment. However, I hear what you're saying, right? But I look at things and I don't know if okay, how do you guys look at the football season? I try not to look at it for what it really is, because it's one of the shortest seasons of any sport, right? Not including the UFL. It's so short, but it takes so long to get here. Remember the days that the Lions season was over in September? You remember those days? It's so much of it's so tough that 0-2 is the end of your season. Look at the Bengals. The Bengals were 0-3 and they missed out by 1 game, right? There's not a lot of room for error. And when you make one small error, you lose 1 game, 1 extra game, your season is over. And in that season, you and I are getting older. I'm about to be 46, right? My mom is on her way to 70. My dad, he's pushing 80, right? My son is now turning 16. He was born right after Matthew Stafford was drafted. My son was born right after Matthew Stafford was drafted. No, yes, after Matthew Stafford's first season. And look at us now. It's been 15 of those years, right? So for me, I hear what you're saying. I'm not that type of fan. I love the process. I love all of this stuff, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to win. I'm here to celebrate. I'm here to walk around and say my team was the best for that year. I'm here for those reasons, right? So anyway, that's where I'm at. We got different type of fandom. Like when people die, it bothers me. So when the dude that dyed his hair, who was in hospice, when he died, it bothered me. I was hurt. Like, yo, he almost saw us at the Super Bowl. Like, I think about that stuff, right? The fact that he had to see us lose like that. And I think about his family. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just me. That's how I think. Anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. We'll be live tomorrow at 4:00. We will probably get on like 3:45-ish. We'll be live tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all. We all want the same thing. We just feel we got different thoughts, different, levels, I guess, different. Some of y'all see Dynasty. I see getting there, right? I see that type of stuff. Pringle with the donation says Larry Benjamin. Yes. Yeah. Larry, that was his name. Larry Benjamin. When I think about that. I think about him dying and how he felt. He could have been super proud. Family could have been super proud. But then when they reminisce on that and they think about, wow, if my dad would have saw us win the Super Bowl, it makes them happy, right? This is more than just guys hitting each other on the field. It's like a really big deal, as you can see. So anyway, man, I appreciate the donations. I appreciate the support. We have ran out of time. I will see you guys tomorrow during the live stream. And yeah, man, we'll see what Brad, hopefully we can get Zadarius Smith back on board. All right. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.